Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Minecraft with me, Lucy. Hi, how's everyone doing today? I am recording this in the last 15 minutes of September. It's September 30th, 23, 4, so 5. That's a very weird way to say time. I kind of panicked there. It's 1:45 and I've got some time off this week, and it's put me into a very Octobery spooky mood. I am terrible with spooky things. I hate horror movies. I absolutely hate them. I cannot watch them. But I'm an enjoyer of the autumn aesthetic. And I also need a lot of pumpkins for all the trading I need to do with these guys, my trading experts. You are the wrong guy. You don't have pumpkins. Here you are. I need emeralds for quartz for my build, and I do not have enough emeralds. I need more pumpkins. Of course, there's other ways I could get emeralds, but this is by far the most easiest one to automate, I feel. I can also do sticks from bamboo, but 32 sticks for one emerald is far too much effort. So I thought with all of these things combined, it's time to upgrade from our little baby pumpkin farm that we started the episode on. It works great, don't get me wrong, but I need something a little bit bigger. I also want to add melons into it, so we're gonna have a pumpkin and melon farm. Now, the one I have just now, let me show you. We were literally just here. I had to walk back. This one, aside from the inclusion of a villager stuck down there, is a very box standard sort of beginner farm for melons and pumpkins, and uses a lot of observers. And it works great, don't get me wrong. Every so often you do get a block stuck on that side, but most of the time everything goes into the chest here. It's not a problem. But you do need a lot of observers. You need an observer for each pumpkin or melon stem. And I didn't see any point in replicating this farm. That's just a bit bigger and maybe more layers. It would be very, very expensive. I've only got 2 observers with me. I could use my nether quartz to craft more observers, but that defeats the point of me wanting to buy quartz from the from the villagers. I'm trying to save my quartz, not use it for the farm. So I decided, I hear a zombie somewhere. Where are you? Right there. Apparently there's a dark spot. I decided we should make a pumpkin farm using something I have. Oh, nearly looks like that guy. Using something I've never ever used before, never ever made in Minecraft, but I know it's all the rage. Flying machines. They sound intimidating. They really do sound intimidating, but from what I can understand, they are very straightforward. And I would actually show it here, but I don't have any of the stuff required on me. And in fact, I only have 8 slime blocks to my name. That's all I have. I know there's some flying machines, they also use honey, but I don't know if you can get started with honey or if that's like an extension to the slime blocks. I don't know. Right, I need to look this up. But before we get into the actual nitty-gritty of the redstone, I need to pick out location. And I'm kind of feeling like somewhere around this area. Either thinking about this big plot of land, I could empty it out, especially with all this ugly gravel on it. I don't really need it for anything. But the problem with that, guys, is I want to build a giant pumpkin. Because I thought about building a nice little cottage for the pumpkin farm, and I decided it would have to be a very big cottage to fit in the scale of the farm I want to use. So we could, there's a dirt block on that tree, we could build a big giant pumpkin, which is what I really want to do, but that would cover a quarter of it in snow, which doesn't quite fit. So somewhere in this area, I really like this spot because I feel like I could add some sort of thematic reason as to why we are getting this magical giant pumpkin going closely to the magic tower. If you guys see what I mean, there is so much random enderman blocks everywhere. Somewhere around here. So what would be a good idea? Now my other option is still build it here somewhere. I probably should put my armor on. Oops. Still build it here somewhere, and then just carpet the top of the pumpkin. That would cause maybe a slight issue. We can have orange wool carpet, and that would stop the snow from growing there. But I want to use a few different shades of orange. I really do. I could string it, but it's gonna look ugly from afar. Maybe here somewhere, and we just flatten out a portion of this hill. Or here somewhere. After all, a lot of thinking, which wasn't very much, it's about 30 seconds later, I decided right here would be perfect. Hello, creeper. So we could flatten out a bit of land here, shave off a portion of this cliff, and then expand the land slightly out here. And it's kind of, ooh, you've got a little shell. It's kind of nice to build it next to this natural pumpkin patch. Can you drop this, please? I guess to get started, let's light up some of this area around here. I've done a terrible job of lighting everything up. I'm gonna trim the natural pumpkin patch, but I don't want to get rid of it completely. So we're gonna keep one there. So we know that that's where the pumpkins were. And then hopefully once we have the build finished, we can replant some of these pumpkins. We're gonna have some natural pumpkins growing next to the really big giant pumpkin. Which actually is a really good point. I did consider making the whole build square like a Minecraft pumpkin, but I think I'm gonna go for like a more realistic style of a round pumpkin instead because I just don't trust in my skill in making a perfect square look good. So we're gonna go for a more round one instead, which probably has a lot more room for error, but I also think it's gonna be a bit more fun to build. There we go. That's a nice large amount of flat space. So hopefully we can fit a pumpkin in here somewhere. And if I need more space, I can always expand towards the river or shave down more of this hill, which got quite a bad treatment of shaving here actually, if you have a look at this. Yeah, a lot of it's gone. I also gave this one a gentle shave, but it's not nearly as bad. I get expanded this way, I guess, but it just feels like when it comes to a circle, we're kind of missing space this away instead of that away, if that makes sense. I guess the next step now that we've cleared out a lot of this space is actually figuring out a design for the farm. So I'm kind of thinking I could either do one big layer, which means one really giant pumpkin, or I could stack it vertically. That could maybe have two layers, one for maybe pumpkins and one for melons. And no, I don't really fancy building a giant watermelon for the watermelon farm. I like the aesthetic of a pumpkin, but a watermelon not so much. So I think we're going to include both in our giant pumpkin and just chalk it up to being a magical one. Yeah, so I could do a slightly smaller one, stacked vertically, and that would make sense if I want a quite a tall giant pumpkin, which I do. Like, ideally, I think I want my pumpkin to kind of go up to this height, like around here. That sounds fun. It's gonna be really big. Do I want to dig downwards at all? So my designs are going to need a collection system, and we're probably going to use hopper minecarts. I imagine those will be faster and better, more like efficient than just a big chain of hoppers. So we're going to need a collection system. So we're going to hopper minecarts, and then for the melon specifically, we're also going to need uh what's it called, the crafter to convert the full melon blocks, otherwise storage is going to take a lot of space. We also want a lot of storage, and actually another thing I really want in the farm, or near the farm at least, is I want a collection of villagers right there available for us to trade with, because we've got two, well, three now, in the village square, in the market square, for trading, but I think we're going to need more in the long term. And instead of populating more of those stalls and then having to hold the pumpkin all the way over, I think just placing in a couple villagers in the area would be better. So I don't know whether that's like a whole different building next to the pumpkin, like a little hut with the villagers, or if they are in the pumpkin, that's also fun. I also need to figure out a way to get into the pumpkin. Do I? Oh, guys, could I not? It's kind of maybe gonna look ugly though. How do I strip this? How do I do this? I always forget. How do you make this into... Do I have to do it like this? Oh, it's shears, isn't it? I can't do it, but you guys, jack-o'-lanterns, that's what they're called. I could have it be a jack-o'-lantern and then you enter through the eyes or the mouth, which sounds fun, but I think I would only want to do that for October. I think I want a normal pumpkin, otherwise a lot of thinking to do. These guys are still somewhat alive, although I literally just heard the villager heart noise when I was walking by here, so that's not fun. Hopefully they can survive until I until I remember to bring a potion for them and do some further work on that room. Alright, I think we should get started by finally building a flying machine and seeing what that looks like, and I need to super remember to put some obsidian down so it doesn't fly super far away, because I am definitely going to do that at some point. Let's see. Oh, this is a block off. That doesn't help. Straight line. Yeah, okay. Obsidian. Obsidian. Hopefully I did this right. I've only built this once following a tutorial, so let's try this time. What do I need to do again? Observer. Into... Is this going the right way? Surely this is. I think it goes into a sticky piston, which has 2 blocks of slime. And then on the opposite end, you have basically the repeated pattern. Do this right? Okay, I think so. Yeah, okay, now, depending which observer you trigger, that changes which direction it goes into. So let's have it go that way first. Wait, I think I actually had the observer correct way round. And it's the first one that's wrong. So this needs to be face out this way. Yeah, yeah. And this one needs to have face out that way. Sorted. Oh, I can't. I can't send it off without breaking obsidian. That was probably a bad decision. Ah, look at that go. Fabulous. I'm a genius. Hey, it's time for testing. I want to see if this works with honey blocks, and I really hope it does because I've got loads of honey blocks, and it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Like in a pumpkin farm. Oh, wait, I need to send this one flying this way. Break the obsidian. It does work. I don't even need these slime blocks. Fantastic. That is exactly what I needed to happen. Great, I have so many honey blocks. So next step is I know you can make vertical-ish flying machines. So not ones that go vertical, but rather ones that the observers are on the vertical sides. And what that means is they feel a little bit less clunky, and I think it's easier to get them to return. So I think the way those would work, that's not right. We're just gonna bill out of honey for a little bit. I need that sticky piston back. So we have a piston this way. And then you would have a piston, I guess, this way. Okay. And then you would have an observer on which way? That can't be the right way. Oh, I just slid down. This way, probably. Oh, that just pushed things. Okay. Then another one on the opposite. I've done something wrong. This was not meant to happen. Did these only work with slime blocks? Or am I just being completely wrong with what needs to be happening here? Let's replace these slime blocks and activate this, I guess. Wait, let's think about the way the pistons are pushing. This is pushing that way, and this is not even... Something's gone terribly wrong and I'm gonna need to look this up. Right, okay, I think this is the better method. I'm just kind of scared that I made this go the wrong way with the obsidian. I feel like it's gonna head in that direction instead. So I'm gonna grab a piece of this and just stick it over here, I guess. I don't know what happens if it bumps into the smooth stone. Yeah, one of these will hit it. And let's do the same on the other side. In fact, I don't even need to break obsidian. I've got a bunch of it on me. Yeah, I really have no idea which direction this is going to go in. So let's just do that. I don't want to be chasing over it, chasing for it, sorry, over vast distances later. Okay, I'm hoping if I've done this right, break one of these. Nothing happens. Okay, break one. All this hype. All this hype and nothing happens. Is it because it's touching obsidian? If I move this out one? Alright, I'm gonna try the same as slime blocks. Ah, okay, okie dokie. This method, this variant of the flying machine seems to only work with slime blocks. Okay, so I can use the other method. The reason I want to use this is because you can extend this out a little bit more. So we can have a wider collection system, and I think the way people do it for pumpkin farms is if I grab a crafting table, get myself some sticks. That's not how you make sticks. Myself some sticks and then some things, and we want to make some. I guess we could use fences for now. I know people use glass. At least I know people for sure use glass. But let's try it with fences. Like this. Hello. I should actually plant down some pumpkins and see if this harvests it. But let's activate the flying machine. Please don't mind me, zombie. It's taking the blocks. It's taking the fence blocks as well. I don't know what happened here, but looks like these disconnected somehow. Oh, it's because I hit the obsidian block. That would make sense. So these disconnected. I'm just gonna shorten this actually a little bit. I don't want this to be hitting anything. How do I fix the disconnections? I need to figure out which one needs to go forward first. I think it's that one. And what I have done is I've planted some pumpkins and actually 2 of them grew already. This side is watermelons. They've not grown yet, but we're going to test it on the pumpkins. I want to see if these fence gates, if they harvest the pumpkins, or if they, I don't know, they break the flying machine or something. I'm hoping it's the harvest option. Oh, which one do I need to activate? This one? Oh, look, it has harvested the pumpkins. Perfect. Okay, so this is the basics, the basis, I guess, basis, the basic basis of our of our farm, and fun times. So what we can do is we will need to get more slime blocks. It looks like I can't escape that. In fact, what happens if I stick some honey blocks at the end of this? Does it stop working? It's a very good question to ask because if we can get away with only using a few honey blocks, that would be ideal. Sorry, a few slime blocks. And let's activate this. Oh, it leaves the honey blocks behind. Okay, we're gonna have to go slime hunting. The sun sets, a new moon rises, and that is the exact reason why I'm not having any luck finding slimes. I went on a little bit of a trip to get some slime balls and I got 11 in total. That is shameful. Well, what happened is I can't remember where I put the portal to my mangrove swamp. I know I have one somewhere. I think it's a hole in the nether ceiling somewhere. Not the actual like bedrock ceiling, but just somewhere in the netherrack somewhere. I have a hole to get to it, and I could not find it. So I settled for going to the normal swamp, which is a bit further away, and I could also not find a portal to that. But thankfully, that one I had screenshotted somewhere, and I managed to find a screenshot with the cords to the nether portal. Found my way to the portal, got there, and it was daytime. I missed the entire nighttime trying to get to there. Waited an AFK there for 10 minutes for night to come. And it was the moon phase before this one. It was like, what, waxing crescent? I don't know, it was like a tiny moon, a tiny little C-shaped moon. And if you didn't know this, which is quite a weird Minecraft mechanic, is that slimes spawn more on a full moon and they don't spawn at all in swamps on a new moon. And the closer it is to full moon in phases, the more slime spawn. So I've decided let's do a little bit more work. I'm gonna wait out for so nights. I think that's how long it's gonna take to get to full moon, and then head back to the swamp, and then hopefully get enough slime blocks. So I guess we can just work out the kind of size of the farm. Maybe I think 2 layers is definitely what we want. 2 flying machines. Now each layer is gonna need 2 blocks for the flying machine. 2 blocks for the growing systems. Yeah, you got the pumpkins on the dirt or the grass for them to grow on. And then you also need, was it 2 blocks for collection? So actually, let's put this down as a kind of placeholder, right? So this is where our hopper minecart will go on. We don't have a hopper minecart, but it'll go on the same block, right? So 1 block plus a block underneath the rails that are gonna have to power the rails and stuff. Then this is the block that the pumpkins grow on. This is the block that the stem goes on. Then we have, I probably should have put scaffolding. Then we have 2 blocks for the, oops. Oh my god, I can't. Right, we got there. We got there. 2 blocks for the flying machine. So all in all, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 tall per layer. Then we probably want to leave a gap or 2 just in case. These are gonna get, like, the observers might get messed off the rails for the next level. So we're gonna need at least 1 block air gap for redstone. Okay, 1 block air gap. We're going back to dirt. Then whoop, daisy. Then 1 more block for the rails. 2 blocks for the farm. And 2 more blocks for the flying machine. Right. How tall is this? We layer this up. Aha. I mean, it would be a giant pumpkin. It would be. I think it's very slightly too tall though, because I'm gonna want to put, there's probably gonna need to be an air gap between the ceiling and stuff as well. So it might be slightly too tall, which means we're gonna have to lower this whole system into the floor slightly to possibly just the rails. Or in fact, we could have the pumpkins grow here on ground level. So we would plant them right, well, yeah, this block here would be farmland. Do I have a hole in me to illustrate? Absolutely I do. So this is farmland then. Okay. So we'd have to dig underneath. Now that is a bit of a hassle. Digging out dirt to place rails is going to be a bit of a hassle. Do I want to go for that? Oh look, our melon's growing. We can test the melon. Which way? I always forget. This one. Harvest the melon. You did. Fantastic. I marked out a circle that is 21 blocks wide, and it actually does not look as big as I thought it would. I think we can expand this a little bit more. I forgot that there was an iron golem in there. I think we can expand this a little bit more. The height looks good though. If we jump down and have a look. So this is the height we decided on earlier. That looks good. I guess even that could be a little bit taller, to be honest. It's so hard to visualize without actually putting in the pumpkin kind of look to it. I'm also trying to decide whether I want it to start off quite wide and stay that same width, or if we wanted the sort of the bit here at the bottom to not be as wide as, say, it would be a couple blocks up. It would maybe be like this, because pumpkins do kind of get wider in the middle. Like 3 more blocks out, maybe? I'm not sure. This is just a rough idea. Be more like this. Maybe? Then we have a lot more space. Should I just mark out the circle first? I thought the smart idea would be building the farm first, but I need to know what size to make the farm, and it's just so much to do, guys. I am gonna go with my gut feeling of expanding this, so I'm gonna try marking out a bigger circle because I feel like we're gonna need the space. Yeah, I think that's looking better. This is a diameter of 25 blocks, and hopefully I didn't mess up the circle because I had a little bit more issues making this one. It's literally just marking out the blocks, but I went wrong somewhere. I had to sort of retrace my steps and see what's gone wrong. Of course, the pillar block is now not in the center, but that's okay. I don't want to run the flying machine again because it looks really satisfying when it goes and collects stuff. Let's hit it. Go! Whee! We're already getting some melons and some pumpkins. I realized that we won't be able to utilize 100% of the circle space because obviously Minecraft is a very square game and our flying machine won't be able to change size at will to fit these smaller corners of a circle like over here where it's basically only 5 width. So this is the kind of square I've marked out, and this gives us, I didn't actually count it, a decent amount of space to work with. I actually jumped into a creative testing world and messed around with slime blocks and flying machines a little bit to find out the limit of how many slime blocks you can attach to one. And if we pretend this is our observer, sorry, our piston, I think you can attach 8 slime blocks in one direction. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wait, 7? 7. We've got 7, so that's great. We're not hitting the limit, and then we're gonna have to do the same on the other side like this. And that's even less slime blocks, so yeah, we should be good. Obviously we'll center the flying machine if we need to. Yeah, that's definitely a bit off center. But basically we're not going to be hitting the limit of slime blocks we can use, which is great. And then if we do this, a little bit of thinking, so we could have melons growing on this block here. That would give us 1 block of farmland. Then 2 melons on here as well, so they can go in either direction. And I think you can maybe speed up growing time. If not, that's cool. Then 2 blocks again, 2 blocks again, 2 blocks again. And yeah, that works out fairly perfectly. So we have, imagine these are the stems, basically. They have a lot of options for dirt to grow. And that means on these blocks, the ones that the stems are on, we have to make sure we have a gap under the flying machine. So I think we're going to have to put the center of it right here. We can't attach anything to the piston blocks. That will work fine right here in the middle. Okay, I mean, I'm basically good to start. I guess I'm going to go out and dig out the size of area underneath for rails, and we'll get started. That only took a minute or two. Here we go, big square all shoveled out. I've got an efficiency 5 shovel, which insta-mines it, I guess insta-shovels it. So much nicer than, than mining out stone right now because I don't have a beacon. So that's great, that's done. Now I think it'd be a smart idea to come up with a list of all the things we're going to need in the farm, just to make sure I allocate enough space for everything. There we go, I've written hopefully everything down. Let's break this down a little bit. In our giant pumpkin farm, we're gonna need, yep, a pumpkin and melon farm. Then we're gonna need 2 flying machine harvesters for 2 layers. That's fairly straightforward. We're gonna need 2 item collectors, so that is 2 sets of hopper minecarts running around. Fairly straightforward. Then we're gonna need to consider storage. Where are we gonna put the outputs of our farm? So that's our storage area. I'm undecided whether to utilize one of these little blocks of the square we're not using, or if I should put it in a building outside. I'm kind of leaning to a building outside. I'm probably gonna have to send the outputs somewhere where I decide to put the villagers. Next up on the list is our auto crafter for melons. This probably needs to swap a step with our storage. So we're going to craft the melon slices into full melons before we send it away near the villagers. We are also going to need a hopper clock timer. So this is required so we don't constantly have our flying machine going off. So the hopper clock is going to control how often a harvest is done, and also probably how often we're going to set off the collection systems. The hopper minecarts underneath don't need to be running constantly. They probably should only make a pass through if something's just been harvested, or maybe a couple seconds later, just so the items actually fall down, I don't know, and get sold, I'm not sure. So we're gonna need one of those. And then an item sorter. This is fairly optional. if I want to mix and match the pumpkins and the melons on the same layer, I am going to need that to make sure my pumpkins don't end up with my melons for the crafter, and also they're separated in the storage. But I can kind of work around the sorter and change it if I have the layers separated, with one for the pumpkins and one for the melons. Then I can just separate the rail carts and the outputs from those into different streams, and that would basically sort my items for me because they're coming from different sources. So yeah, don't really know if I need that. I'm not sure if I'm forgetting anything else. We're gonna need a transportation system for our outputs into our storage. I don't know what that'll be yet, whether minecarts or water streams or dropper elevators or that's undecided, so I've kind of left it just now. And I think that's everything, really. Hopefully, this breaks down the farm a little bit easier to understand. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not basing this off any design, but hopefully we can make it work. A new day has started. Full moon is officially over, and we got two and a little bit stacks of slime balls, which is not bad at all. It's not as many as I would have hoped. Actually, not that many spawned. I think we got quite lucky with the looting 3 aspect of it. But this should do us for the farm. I realized really quickly that we need these two last signs really badly, actually. They're little bits of redstone that kind of go under the item collection and the flying machines. But they are sort of a distinct piece of redstone that I need to think about. So first off, the minecart unloading stations. So if we have a look down here, I've laid all the tracks, as you can see. It was a bit of a nightmare and a tight squeeze, but I got it done. And I have tested it, the minecart fully goes around the entire thing fine. Now what I need to consider is when it finishes collecting all the items, what do we do then? Either we take the minecart and it unloads somewhere here, and then we take the items from wherever it unloads and transport them to our storage system, or we take the minecart and send it directly to the storage system. The other thing we need to set up is a flying machine setup stations. So we have our flying machine here, and I realized this when I was testing it. It's finally one long enough to collect everything here, I think. I've realized that it needs to have some way of when it hits the obsidian block, that it automatically starts heading back, because we really just want it to be in one spot waiting for the hopper clock, so we don't have to send a signal to both ends just in case. So if we send this away just now... Oh, was the wrong one. Oh dear, have I broken it? Please, which one? This one? You can do it. What's happening now? Wait, it needs to be... Yeah, it needs to be this one. Oh no, what about this one? It worked on the way here! Oh, is it because the slime blocks are touching all of these blocks? That's not good. See, that's another problem we run into. I'll remove all of these. Now the slime blocks are touching the pumpkins as well. Remove the pumpkin. Are you gonna set off now? This one? Yeah, now it goes. Yep, another issue found. I think this is gonna have to go back a block backwards then. When it returns, yeah, a block backwards. And here on this side, I've already kind of figured out that I need to go a little bit more back, because this is where it's going to be sitting waiting most of the time. You know what? Let's test out the glass method. So I'm thinking we're going to go for glass panes at the bottom of this. And the reason for that is I think they're the smallest thing. If we're using full blocks to break this, the items that shoot off may may get stuck in places because it's a full block, right? And same with fences, I think they can kind of glitch out sometimes. So let's try this. Hopefully this thing still works with the fence posts attached. Please tell me this works. I know these are touching the dirt. Is it gonna try to pick up the dirt? No, right? Uh-oh. Oh no, that's not worked. Oh, that could be a disaster. This could be an absolute disaster. Is there too many blocks on here? Does it need to be this one? There doesn't work. Oh no. Okay, let's try slowly removing some panes and seeing if it works. Is it just too many blocks attached to it? That's not even my silk touch. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. All the maths have been for nothing. Alright, I'm just gonna try just leaving 2 glass panes. 2 glass panes. Now he goes. Okay, it's breaking the stuff in the middle. Okay. Slowly but surely we'll find the amount of panes that work. Let's try 2 on this side. Okay, that still works. Yeah, the last 2 are where it breaks. It's very unfortunate. Oh, I've already done all this prep work. Uh-oh. What do? It's been a long time deliberating, guys. It's been a long time deliberating what I should do. Do I call it quits? Has redstone defeated me? There's hardly any redstone in here. It's slime blocks, so slime blocks defeated me. How have they done it? I refuse. I shall not surrender. We will do things subpar and unoptimal, but we will get them done regardless. After all, guys, remember, perfection is wait, no, I've done that wrong. No, it's progress, not perfection. That's the saying. I can't even say the saying right. Oh man, brain's fried. Right, let's get into this. So we really have 2 options here with the flying machine, okay? Option 1 is to give up on all of these pumpkins, the entire row on the side and the entire row on this side, 2 rows rather. That is a lot of pumpkin we're losing per harvest. Option 2, make a tiny little flying machine for each side. And I think I want to give that a go. And is there any point in making a flying machine that is only 2 slime blocks wide? I don't know. Is it really going to complicate the harvests as well? Because we have to send a redstone signal and have it be basically at the same time? Yes. But does it sound doable? Absolutely. It sounds very doable to me. So I want to give it a go. Tiny little baby flying machine. Oh, that's worked. It's worked. Oh, that grew immediately back. Fantastic. Now we just need to do the other one. And voila! Oh man, I'm chuffed. I'm chuffed. Coming up with solutions to stupid problems you caused yourself. Very fun in Minecraft. Very fun. Now, we have caused another problem by doing this. Not only is redstone going to be a little bit more complicated, but if we have a good look, do you see the problem? You see where we marked out our circle? You see how these bits here are now out with the circle? This thing is growing arms and legs and it's expanding. Yeah, look at this obsidian block. It is outside the circle, just very slightly. But it does mean we're gonna have to increase the circle of the pumpkin yet again. I will worry about that later though. We're also gonna need to do the same upwards. So I think I'll make the second layer slightly smaller so it doesn't need as much space. I'll probably need to be wider at the bottom than it is at the top anyways. It's time for a full test and I sure hope this redstone reaches because I haven't tested that at all. Yes, they're all off at the same time. Why have these pumpkins remained on? Oh, I'm missing a glass pane. Oh, get out of the way, get out of the way, the car's coming. Put the glass pane back. Let's run. In fact, there's some pumpkins that have also survived this. There is a glass pane. These must have literally just regrown. And we are missing something to stop the pumpkins from growing here. I think I'm going to have to swap out the ground for a stone or something on that side. And off it goes again. And oh, we forgot the glass pane. Did I put you on a wrong spot? Oh, I did indeed. Great, everything seems to be breaking now. And is getting sent back, no problems. Happy to report that through our testing, we nearly got 3 stacks of pumpkins. So I need to set up a collection system because I need to run past every time I test the flying machines. Although I think we have them working now, so no testing required, I guess. But look at how fast things are growing. I've literally only just sent it off, and this is filling up so fast. I don't know how this happened, but we are missing a bunch of villagers from in here. Oh. What? This guy's got no eyes. How? Oh, there's your eyes. Oh, there's several of them. What has... How? I did not know they can climb ladders. How do we gently lower you down, please? How many of them are in here? Okay, I am gonna leave them. Have fun. Question is, how did you get outside? You belong in the kitchen. That sounds wrong. But you do actually. You belong in the kitchen. Get back in there. One just died. Oh, one just died. I put him in the boat and he suffocated, and he died after like 2 hits of damage. I couldn't save him. I must have been hurt already. I'm still hearing people get hurt as well on the other side. Are the cartographers just not handling life well? I don't know what's going on. Or is it these guys on the ladder getting hurt? I'm gonna have to remove the ladder. Sorry, sirs. Yep, that was silly of you, wasn't it? Right. Okay, now you're stuck forever. Great. Oh dear. No ladders, no ladders. That's probably how the other guy got out as well. Yep, look at it. Went up the ladder, fell down. You want to go back to your workstation? Yeah, is this trapdoor difficult? Yeah. That trapdoor is difficult as well. Oh boy. I am exhausted. I'm officially so exhausted. Oh, this has really, really racked my brain, and I don't know what's going on anymore. How? I don't understand what's going on with my nether. Hello? Behold. My giant pumpkin. This thing has been taking me so long, guys. So long. And this is at least several hours in of like resource gathering, getting the terracotta, putting stuff together, and it's only a quarter done. It's only a quarter done, but I will say that quarter looks better than I thought it would, because I started off following a sphere generator, which basically tells you exactly where to place blocks, and I very quickly messed up the maths on it, and now the sides are uneven. Can you tell? Yeah, it's quite obvious, isn't it? But I decided that I don't care that much about it being very uneven, because in real life you probably don't get perfectly spherical pumpkins very often. So this is realistic. This is maybe even intentional. I totally meant it to look a bit awkward and uneven, and especially on this side. To see this front, this is where I started. Looks fairly good, I think. It also helps that I don't need to do a decent portion of it there in the wall, but that also has really thrown off my building process of it, so I lost track for a lot of things. Yeah, it's only a quarter in. We're making progress though. Another couple hours and this thing will be done, so I just have to crack away, put on a TV show or a YouTube video or something and get on it. And something I really want to do is I really want to texture this thing as well. I think it'll help to hide the unevenness of the actual shape. So I've got some blocks set out here. We've got some acacia, pumpkins, concrete, both powder and non-powder, red sand, red sandstone, smooth red sandstone, wool. I have some more stuff in here, don't I? just more red sand and a terracotta. I've used terracotta as a base, but I will replace a decent portion of it later on with different blocks. So I want to get the shape done, and then once we have the entire pumpkin built, we can start texturing it. Behold, my giant texture pumpkin. Have a look at this. What a beauty. What a beauty. Definitely looks a lot more like a pumpkin with all the texture put in. It also helps that I have actually finished it, and it is kind of a spherical shape now. It's not a completely perfect one. There's still little odd bits here and there, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Let's have a look inside. Look at this ceiling. I kinda love it. I don't know what is about it. It's so like out there. It's a little bit quirky. It's kind of cool to look at though. I really love my ceiling here on the pumpkin. I did notice that as soon as we covered everything up, the pumpkin started going a lot slower. Obviously due to the low light levels, so we added a bunch of flying torches, but what's more fun than that is to have some honey blocks in the ceiling actually let natural light through as well. Happy with this result. And I know in the video I skipped a lot of the redstone talk, especially about how all of this is wired up and what sends the flying machines back and the collection system. I plan to cover all of that a little bit more in episode 51. Which is going to be the next one. We're going to be working on the melon part of this giant pumpkin farm. And hopefully I can talk about it then and make a lot more sense. Honestly, when I was recording this, I think there was just too much for me to explain well. When I was editing the content, I realized this video is really dragging on. Like, it really is just dragging on. So I cut a lot of it off, and we're still at 40 minutes, which is insane. Hopefully that just gives you a glimpse into how long this project actually took for me. It was really out of my comfort zone. Not only are we building like organic big shapes, but also is doing redstone I've never done before, and trying to minimize the amount of like googling I did for it. But we got it done. So look forward to episode 50. We're going to be taking a break from all of that, and we're going to go fight the Ender Dragon, and I'm hoping to get a world tour done as well. But if I don't get that done, it might wait until November. We'll see. If there's anything you want to see for episode 50 celebrations, please drop it in the comments. I'll be recording it soon, so you don't have much time. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll catch you next episode. Goodbye.